Well, everyone, and thanks for checking out the PCSS Connection podcast this week. I'm your host, Buddy Pearson, the Communications and Marketing Supervisor. We've got some big news from Monterey FFA. That's right. Monterey FFA senior Madison Phillips is receiving a National FFA scholarship. National FFA scholarships are highly competitive and are awarded to members who go above and beyond in their academics and FFA endeavors. Madison received the Bayer Grow Ag Leader Scholarship, which totals $1,500. Meanwhile, two MHS juniors, Skyla, Blalock, and Cole Walker, have been accepted into the 2025 Next Gen Agricultural Education Conference taking place in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania this summer. Both students have expressed their interest in pursuing a career as an agriculture educator and FFA advisor after graduation and sought to attend this conference to gain a better understanding for their career field. Skyla and Cole were two of 50 students selected across the country to attend the conference based on their application scores, and they're the first Putnam County students to attend the Next Gen Agriculture Education Conference. And joining us now is Cole and Skyla. Students, thank you so much for coming down the mountain and being with us here. Congratulations. Man, what an honor. You guys are going to be going to Philadelphia. Only two of 50 students to get selected. Skyla, how does that feel?
It feels pretty good. I mean, I've worked really hard this year at FFA, so it's like really a good accomplishment.
Yeah. Cole, what about you?
It's nerve-wracking. I know that trip up there is going to be a long one.
Yeah.
But I'm real excited.
So tell us a little bit about what the Agricultural Education Conference is and what you hope to gain by going, Skyla.
Since I want to be an agricultural educator whenever I get older, I think I'll be able to learn those skills that I'm going to need and be able to connect with other people who have the same goals as I do.
Okay, great. Cool.
Piggybacking off what Skyla said, I also do want to be an agriculture educator right after high school. And I hope to be able to connect with like-minded individuals like myself up there.
So why do you want to do that? What makes you want to do that?
Since joining FFA, I've always had a passion for teaching, and I really decided what I wanted to do after I joined FFA. Like, I felt like it was really something that I was good at.
Yeah. Cool.
I found my place and my home in FFA, and I really want to be able to inspire other kids, just like how my advisors inspired me and uplifted me.
Oh, awesome. So why did you get into FFA in the first place?
I grew up on a farm, so it was really like it kind of felt like home.
Yeah.
And the first 2 years of high school, I wasn't able to get in because of scheduling conflicts. So this was my first year.
Really?
But yeah.
Yeah.
But I've accomplished a lot.
I was going to say you made the most of your first year.
Yes, I did.
Cool.
Well, this is my second year, and I don't come from a agricultural background.
You just something you wanted to get involved in?
Yeah, I mean, it is something I want to get involved in. I was actually voluntold to do horse judging, and that's how I really found my route. That's how I started it.
Yeah, voluntold, that's great. So what are some of the things you've been able to participate in? Cole, we'll start with you in your 2 years with FFA.
So I've competed in many different competitions. Like, I've done parliamentary procedure with Skyla. I've done extemporaneous public speaking twice. I've done the prepared public speaking for the state fair. And I mean, all of those have given me life skills that I'm able to use outside of just FFA.
Yeah.
And same with me, like he said, I've done parliamentary procedures. I've done competitions for veterinary science, agriculture sales. I've participated at state convention and Tennessee Leadership Conference and a conference called Cultivate and Emerge.
So what was the process like for you to be selected to just be two of only 50 students in the country to get to go to this awesome event in Philadelphia?
We had to write a series of essays. I think it was 5 or so.
Yeah.
And it was questions like, what will you gain from this conference? And why do you want to go? Yeah, just questions like that.
Okay. So obviously you're pretty proficient in being able to, fill those things out.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, obviously you got selected. Do you know how many people put in for it to get to go to the conference?
I'm not sure how many people actually did. I'm not too sure.
So is there anything in Philadelphia that you hope that you get to see besides getting to go to the conference?
Hershey Park and cheesesteaks.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I'm real excited. I really hope we get to go to Hershey Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Now, if you've old like me, when I went, I had to run up the steps and act like Rocky when I got
yeah,
to the top of the steps. That was cool. And the Liberty Bell and Independence Hall and some of those nice historical things. But it's an awesome city to get to go to.
Yeah.
So you're about to wrap up your junior year, and you've got your senior year to go. What do you want to accomplish, or what are you looking forward to as far as just your senior year at Monterey High School?
I want to apply to the University of Tennessee and hopefully get in there. And also, I want to complete basic training for the Army.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Are you an ROTC?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I as well want to be. I want to get accepted to Tennessee Tech so I can get a degree in agriculture education.
Great.
But I am also going to be running for state office for FFA.
Oh, nice. Now they have the state convention. Did they just have it, or is that still coming up? They just had
It
the state coming up, and then is there a national convention?
Yes.
There is.
And
That was in.
Well, the national for this year is.
Oh, the national for this year. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
are you guys going to that one at all?
Yes.
Oh, are you really? And now where's that going to be?
It's in Indianapolis.
In Indianapolis. Wow. So you guys are going to be doing a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Going to Indianapolis, going to Philadelphia, just
We're-
keeping your bags
FFA
packed.
camp.
Yeah, we're going everywhere.
We're going everywhere.
Well, that sounds good. Just talk about your high school experience in being at Monterey High, where FFA is so huge. I know there's a lot of other things. Are you involved in a lot of other things besides FFA?
Yes, I do archery, and I'm also in SCCLA, and I do the podcast club at Monterey.
Oh, awesome. Cool.
Well, I am working 2 jobs right now.
Yeah.
I work at the TJ Maxx in Cookeville,
Right.
and I also work for the Bullington family in Baxter, Tennessee, where I help raise their cattle.
Wow. So you guys stay pretty busy.
Yep.
Well, congratulations again. Skyla, Blalock, Cole Walker accepted into the 2025 Next Gen Agriculture Education Conference. Going to be going to Philadelphia, going to be going to Indianapolis for the National FFA Convention, and got a big summer ahead. So congratulations. And thanks for taking time out of your busy schedules to be with us today.
Yeah, of course.
You're welcome.
All right, thanks. Well, testing's been going on in the Putnam County school system, and here to talk about all that testing is our Supervisor for Testing and Data, Jason Stickler. And boy, this is just your time of the year, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Super Bowl time for us in the testing world, yeah.
So, TCAP, what are some of the other things that have been going on?
Yeah, so right now, of course, we're in our TCAP season, so we are currently taking TCAP and our end-of-course test.
Yeah, EOC.
That's right, yeah, EOCs, and those are going to be for students taking those EOC courses, so Algebra 1, Algebra 2, English 1, English 2. So finishing up on those should we should be done with those around May 6th.
Okay.
And then our elementary schools and our middle schools are doing English, language arts, and science. And then middle school picks up social studies as well. Our elementary schools, they're going to be testing through the end of next week. So around May 1st, May 2nd,
Wow.
should be finishing up on those.
Yeah. So, a lot of testing going on. Just talk a little bit about the preparation for that, and when does the preparation actually begin for all this testing?
Right at the very beginning of the year.
Really?
Yeah, I tell you, maybe even before that. Our teachers, blessed to have the teacher corps that we do in the county. They just do a wonderful job, and they actually start over the summer,
Yeah.
looking at the upcoming year, planning out those standards and what needs to be taught in the classroom. And then once we bring the students into the class, we are constantly looking at that instruction, how effective it is throughout the year. Of course, as we get a little closer into the springtime, we get more into test prep type of things,
Sure.
How to take tests effectively, and things like that. But man, we start right in the summer, right at the very beginning of the year, preparing our kids.
Yeah. Now, when will some of the test results start coming out? I mean, obviously, we've got this testing window that's going through like the first week of May. Then when can we start seeing some results?
So we're hoping they're going to come out sort of in waves. We're going to start probably moving in toward the end of May. Now our third graders, of course, they're really looking for that score to come back.
Right.
Because we need to know about promotion and retention. We should be able to let parents know those results around May 20th or so, hopefully. And then going out of May and into the beginning of the summer, we'll start to get those scores in. And parents will be notified either by their school or through the TCAP family portal,
Yeah.
where parents can log on and see their student scores there.
Obviously, all the test grades are important, all the test scores, it factors in a lot of different ways, but everybody who's in third grade looks at that particular one and just break that down a little bit, why that's so important, what those scores mean, and why everybody's just waiting to see what happens with those.
Sure. Well, we started this a few years ago,
Yeah.
a couple years ago, with that third grade promotion and retention policy, that legislation that was passed. And basically what that says is by the end of third grade, we need to make sure that our students are fourth grade ready in English language arts. Can they progress to that next grade level, able to access the content that's being taught to them and be successful, really.
Right.
Coming out of elementary school and into middle school and then on into high school as well. We kind of move from those basic reading skills, letter sounds, vocabulary, into more reading comprehension. Can we really understand what's being presented to us in the text? And so one way that the state measures that is through TCAP.
Yeah.
It gives us a good indicator that students are ready to move on to that next grade level.
Yeah.
So now there are, we want students to be able to be proficient at the end of the year
Right.
on that third grade assessment. So we're looking for a meets or exceeds score
Right.
on that TCAP, the third grade English ELA TCAP. But if a student comes back and maybe they score approaching or even below, we have several pathways that parents can explore
Right.
to move on to fourth grade. Some may require tutoring, some summer school maybe
Yeah.
built in there, some appeals as well. So,
Sure.
yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that people get a little antsy about is they want to see what that score is, because you won't find out till toward the end of May if you're going to have to go to summer school or
Right.
not. And I
Right.
think that's one of the things that, obviously we don't have control of when we get the results, but we give the results to them as soon as we get them.
Exactly. Yep. And those scores are going to come home as soon as we get them.
Yeah.
I mean, we try to, as soon as we get the scores from the state, we try to make it within a day.
Yeah.
A turnaround that, getting them out to the schools and making sure that parents are aware of the process. But one thing I want to mention is that everything is there. All the pathways are already spelled out. There's a great resource online for parents, and maybe we can touch on that in a minute to go through that.
Sure.
But parents can kind of have an idea. Okay, if this happens, then
Right.
we're going to want to do this.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and talk about that then. Just
Sure.
go ahead and talk about some of those pathways.
Sure. So what you see here is Tennessee's pathways to promotion for third and fourth grade. At the top of the page, you can see on the left-hand side there, you have right next to where it says grade 3, you have approaching and below. Those are those two little colored bars reading top down there. And so as you see, if you read the chart from left to right, if their score comes back as approaching, there are about 5 pathways that we can choose from to move students into fourth grade. So, for instance, at the top there, we give the Ames Web Reading Assessment at the end of the year, and that's going to be starting here next week, where students will be taking their spring reading screener. And if students score at or above the 50th percentile on that particular reading screener, then we can move them to fourth grade, but they would also receive tutoring during the entirety of fourth grade. And so if we're reading that pathway across the top there, then you can see that it reads left to right, and then they go into fourth grade, and then just move right in there into fifth grade once fourth is completed.
Right.
And so as you move down the approaching bars there, each of those are pathways that a parent can choose. Now, there are 2 on there that talk about an appeal. So we have 2 types of appeals that parents can apply for if a student scores approaching on TCAP. And that appeal window is going to open up on May 28th. So parents can appeal that TCAP score May 28th to June 27th. We don't make those decisions. Those decisions are made by the Tennessee Department of Education, but those may be one or two pathways that a parent can.
How long does it
can
usually
explore.
take for an appeal to go through?
Once it's submitted, usually about a week
Okay.
to get the decision back. Yeah, usually about a week. And then the parent will be notified by email. So on the application or on the appeal form, it asks the parent to provide their email. So they will get an email back from the state letting them know whether the appeal was accepted or declined. Down at the bottom, if a student scores below on their TCAP, a score of below, then there'll be two pathways that they can choose there to move on to fourth grade. Now, what you will see in both categories, under the approaching and the below category, is the opportunity for students to take a retake assessment, and that's going to happen in the county May 21st and May 22nd. So if you get those scores back from TCAP and your student has scored an approaching or below, we still have another option, an opportunity to take that test again. About an hour long. It kind of mirrors TCAP a little bit, but not as long. Mm-hmm. And so we should get those scores back, the retake scores, within 48 hours. So,
great.
So that's another option as well. We'd hope that students, if they don't make the score the first time, we get them on that retake, and then we're ready to go.
Yeah. And then when we look at the overall results from the testing and the test scores, it kind of tells us where we rank as far as a district in the state and all these different things. That's why it's so important. We have actually done pretty well the last couple of years where we've our test scores have continued to go up.
I tell you, we have a positive trend happening now in Putnam County, and it's really exciting to see and be a part of. And there's nothing really telling us right now that we won't see another bump, going into next year. Anything's up in the air, of course, but we're, based on trend data, we're expecting to see another bump in Putnam County.
And if they have any questions as far as pathways or test scores or anything like that, I know we have information on our website. I'm sure there's also other resources available.
That's right, and on our website, great resource for parents there. Just our Putnam County Schools public site there. There is a data and testing webpage or site there, and under that section there are multiple links to resources from our TCAP calendar. So if you want to know when the next TCAP is for next year, or all the assessments that we offer in Putnam County, that's available. We have testing resources to help students prepare for assessments. All the third and fourth grade information is posted there as well. And then also some school system data as well. So we're going to start pushing some data there, so that if you're curious about how Putnam County has performed in the past, you'll be able to go on and see that as well.
Great. All things data and testing. Jason Stickler, thanks so much for clearing all that up and for being on top of it.
Thanks.
All right.
All right.
And that's going to do it for the PCSS Connection podcast this week. Be sure to check out our social media on Facebook and Instagram, and check out our YouTube channel. I hope everybody has a great week. God bless.